hello out there wherever you are. As for me, well, I am in Homestead, PA, a suburb of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at the waterfront. Or should I call it Satan's armpits? You know, it seems like the entire month of June, it wanted to rain just every single day. And now summer's here, and summer's here with a vengeance. And it's bringing its friend Florida humidity, because it is boiling in this city. Now, don't get me wrong. Every day that it rained at the beginning of June, I was like, all right, come on. When is summer going to arrive? Well, summer's here now. But I am here at the Fine Wine and Good Spirits store for a unique bottle signing opportunity. You know, it seems like for a long period of time, the only time you can get people to come was for like book signings. But very rarely does Pittsburgh get book signings. It's usually just the major city. But what Pittsburgh does get more often than not, even though the last one I went to was many years ago, is bottle signings. People that are putting out their own liquor. This one is from a 4-time Super Bowl champ, 2-time MVP, Hall of Famer, Terry Bradshaw. Now, Bradshaw's a bit of a unicorn in this town, similar to Jaromir Jagr that we met, I believe, last year. You know, there was some sour grapes kind of in the town. You know, whether or not he would come back and do anything like this was hard to say. But obviously, you know, that was before my time. I was born in '83. I did not see the glory days of Terry Bradshaw. But still, you know, he's a Pittsburgh legend. He's been in films. He's on Fox NFL Sunday. The most important reason of why I want to meet Terry Bradshaw above else is because, yeah, you will get a bottle signed and you get a photo op with him. But I have one of those, you know, IKEA, like, glass cases. I have 4 signed helmets inside. Every signed helmet I have the picture with the person, even though none of those people signed those helmets in my presence. These are ones I got, you know, via trade, via sale, via other things. But even so, I have a Mean Joe Green, and I met Mean Joe Green last year. I have a Palomalu. I met Palomalu last year. I have a Hines Ward. I met Hines Ward at training camp after Super Bowl 43. And the last one has no picture, and that's Terry Bradshaw. So we're here to complete a set and get officially a picture to go with the Terry Bradshaw signed helmet that I have. So, you know, I pulled up here. It's about a couple hours earlier. I didn't assume it would be like Dan Aykroyd. We met Dan Aykroyd at the same store a few years back. And, you know, I had expected kind of more resistance, I guess you could say. There's not really a line. There's a queue set up, but there's not really a line. So maybe they changed the way they do things. But yeah, don't see a line here at all, which is strange. Although you do see people pulling up, but it also is a liquor store, so. So we're going to go step inside. We're going to see what it's all about. But let's go get into this. This is a bottle signing with Terry Bradshaw at the Fine Wine and Good Spirits, Homestead, PA, in the waterfront. And Tom was here.
Oh, hi, it's Lieutenant Tim Dangle of the Reno Sheriff Department, and you're watching Tom Was Here.
You know, they are handling this a little bit better than the Dan Aykroyd one. I can say this. Many years have passed. They've, you know, had bottle signings since then, although none really here that I'm aware of. And now you get a wristband. So I went in, I bought my bottle, $40. You get a wristband, and then they want you to line up. It's now 3:46. They want you to start lining up at about 5, they said 5:30-ish. I think I'm going to go closer to like 5:15-ish. Get in line, meet Bradshaw, get a signed bottle, get some pictures with him, call it a day. So that's cool. That's cool that it's handled that way, where this wristband kind of guarantees your access. So, you know, there will be, I'm sure, a robust line of people once that line starts forming, but since I got some time to kill, I'm going to go, you know, head to some stores in the waterfront, check out some things, and come back here around 5 to see how bad or how deep in line I am. So, we'll find out. Well, I figured I would stagger it till about 5:15. Turns out that was a mistake, because the line is here, and I am at the tail end of it at the moment, and there's a storm coming, Mr. Wayne. Oh boy. Here comes the rain. We got a lady passed out in line, and I'm not the last person in line anymore. There's a line forming back here, so definitely not the last, but the rain is definitely coming in with about 20 or so minutes before you're supposed to be here. A little bit of rain, fine. Starts getting into a lot of rain issue. I don't mind it. It's been super hot as of late, but I just don't necessarily want to be in it, to be honest with you, especially if it's going to come downpouring like it looks like it's about to do currently. Not good. Oh, it's coming in now. Oh boy. You see, there are two types of people. There are the haves that have umbrellas, and there are the have-nots that don't. Oh good, the line's moving. It's bad. For the first 10 minutes, it was great because it's been so hot as of late. The problem is the last extra 10 minutes here, not so great. I am dripping. Dripping's fun. It still feels nice. Like it's not like overly the only thing that's not nice is the fact that I'm head to toe soaked. Well, what are you gonna do? Now the good news is I've made it to the physical queue. Very exciting. The bad news is I'm dripping. Head to toe, drenched. I overheard a lady complaining about the wait in the rain, and she had the biggest umbrella I've ever seen. Look, lady, some of us earned it, all right? Some of us were in the elements. You were just temporarily inconvenienced. Let's do a quick hair check here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at this drowned rat here. Okay. Alright, we're good. I'm an insane person. I'm so excited my son didn't come. My son was on the fence about coming. He would have been miserable. He would have been like, well, I don't stay here for this. Oh man, I would have heard it the whole time. When I'm alone, I get to internalize. My discomfort. It helps me. Because I can sit, if I'm by myself, I can stand very patiently and deal with whatever trauma I can deal with. But man, if I'm with wife, the kids, and I'm miserable, oh man, everybody's gonna know. I don't know why it's that way, but it really is. A little bit closer. Rain fully stopped. Still soaked. Hanging in there. The end is near. The end is near. Well, there he is. We made it in store.
Harry Bradshaw led the entire league in touchdown passes this year. 2 altogether. He's going to throw again. He's lobbing it deep. Stallworth! Touchdown, is it? Touchdown!
Here is Bradshaw. Bothered from behind. Lynn Swan is open. Got it. Steeler touchdown.
Back in the car now, thankfully, as it has just started raining again. And I saw you all. Your mocking looks under your umbrellas. I'm a warrior. I battle tested. I made it through it all. Paid my dues, as one person in the line said. I wasn't alone in my umbrella-lessness, but there were actually, I was one of the few, the proud, that were, because man, it was rough going for a while there. Like I said, what's funny is, like I said, I tend to internalize, especially when I'm alone. I have no one to talk to or bounce things off of, so I just internalize it. And I was sitting there, and it was coming in, and it was pouring and pouring and pouring. And it was about 5:40 when it started. I just started to feel the rain, and it was pouring. So first 10 minutes, it felt great because it's been so hot, and the next 10 minutes were pretty miserable. And then, a few minutes beyond that was miserable. And I was like, is Bradshaw going to be fashion? Like, he has to be on time, right? He's not going to be fashionably late to this, especially on a day where it's raining and people are outside. No, he is on time. That 20 minutes felt like an hour. It felt, when I checked my phone, I was like, it feels like it's been raining for like an hour. It went from 5:40, it was 6:02. He was supposed to get there at 6. I was like, oh, okay. But he actually, interestingly enough, when I found out he signed the bottles earlier in the day, and so they had the bottles at the ready. So he was just there to meet people, shake hands, get pictures, stuff like that. So he had signed the bottles. They had 210 bottles. I happened to be right by the guy that was formative guy. Like, you remember Wayne's World where they're like, didn't that security guard know a lot of information? Yeah, I was just like right next to the guy that knew all the information. So he had signed 210 bottles in Robinson earlier in the day. They transported them here, and then everybody who signed up got a bottle. Now, the event did sell out, but it didn't sell out until like 5:20. Came back at about 5:15, and there was a robust line. It was a nice line. It went all the way out of the queue and then started kind of curving back the other way. And mistakes were made, and I acknowledge mistakes were made. People that arrived fashionably late, the ones that got their wristband, the ones that held out from the rain, they got in line roughly where I was, maybe a little bit even ahead, and they didn't have to wait in line for like an hour or so, or an hour and a half, or whatever it was for me. So that was a lesson learned as well, I suppose. But I will say they are getting rained on now, so deal with that. Although it's not nearly as, it was pretty bad for a while there. But yeah, I am very much wet. I am very much soaked. But Terry was great. Very personable, shaking everybody's hand, cool guy. Just shooting the stuff about, how bad the weather has been, because I was like, I had to justify I'm sorry in advance, because I'm like soaking wet here. Like, I'm just dripping wet. And he's like, God dang it. Like, he looks out there, he's like, it's raining again. Like, he's looking out there. We were chatting it up and just, gave everybody their time. Pretty personable for sure. But it's not like a Dan Aykroyd situation. Like, this is a hard out. Like, Dan Aykroyd, when he came here, he was there at like 4 o'clock. They didn't do the wristband things. He was just like first come, first serve. And he was signing the bottles on site. So first come, first serve. And man, he was there until after like 9 o'clock. Bradshaw ain't doing that. That's a hard out. They got a limited number of bottles. That's why I was like, if I get here, I want to make sure I at least get one of the bottles, and then we'll be set. But I did get a bottle. We'll see how it looks. The pre-signed bottle. You don't necessarily want him to rush these. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool that he signed him earlier in the day. And I heard stories. There were stories of people that said met him in like Atlanta or something. And they said that they didn't even get him signed on the bottle. Like they gave people a sticker to like put on the bottle. That's kind of weird. Like, if I got that, like if I was offered that and they're like, hey, we don't have any bottles, we have a sticker that he had signed, you'd use that for another application. You'd put like a picture of like him lighting like Art Stogie and then just have like his cut signature under it. Like, that can be done a different way, but cool to have the bottle. The bottle's really nice, pretty cool. And yeah, like I said, he put some effort into signing those, and, definitely took his time. It's not something that was rushed. Sometimes in these, signings, there's a lot of people to meet, a lot of things to do, so you just rush through. But it looks like he took his time on those, so that's pretty cool. And happy to say I met the man, completed my set. So now I can add that picture to my, Terry Bradshaw helmet, and then I'll have the whole complete set of people that I met there. But cool to meet a legend, Super Bowl MVP, a Hall of Famer in Terry Bradshaw, one of the greats. I mean, I know his numbers don't stand up across the modern day NFL's numbers, but to me, he is the only TB12. I don't acknowledge any other TB12, because I don't. It's my right. I know you like Brady now because he's just the funny guy. No, I hate his guts. I hate his broadcasting. I hate him, and I will go on record as saying that forever. There will be no sway in that stance. That stance has always been solid. So cool to meet a legend in Terry Bradshaw. Happy to have survived the rain. Feel good that I survived the rain. Did end up running into a viewer of the channel, Zachary. Very nice to meet you formally. We've kind of commented and Instagram and stuff like that back and forth, so it was cool to meet him in line. But that'll do it for the Terry Bradshaw bottle signing. Guys, thanks so much for watching. If you are new here, make sure to like, share, subscribe. If you'd like to support me on Patreon like John Bailey, like Brett Persing, like Fan, you can do so. Link is in the description below. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt, a TomWasHere t-shirt, you can do so at Spreadshirt, as well as links to my eBay store, Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, whatnot, Arena Club. The links are in the description below. But when it comes to a bottle signing with Terry Bradshaw, Super Bowl MVP, Hall of Famer, Steeler legend, I can very much say that my name is Tom and I was here. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye, everyone.